Well, that's a step in the right direction.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Gen Z Reviews, episode 65. Today we are rewinding back to 1994, quite a while ago, to the very beginning of the Stargate story. Now, this is my very first time being introduced to the world of Stargate, as it is for most of us here on this panel, except Elaine, Nerd Cookies. She is our Stargate expert, as we say, and we need her because there is a lot of gaps that need to be filled in with what Stargate is. But, you know, just as like an introduction to this wonderful world of Stargate, this movie's pretty interesting. And I didn't really know what to expect at all. And I was really surprised by what I got. And I think that, you know, this is going to be an interesting conversation. I'm really curious to see what everybody here thinks, especially because, you know, we don't really have a lot of experience with the series. So most of us are going to be judging this just based off this film alone. And I see a lot of highs, and I feel like I see quite a few lows, too, to the story and to the way certain things are executed. But overall, I think it was creatively brilliant. And I could see why this was the stem of a much larger picture that came with the Stargate series. So, yeah, very excited to talk about it with you guys. For people that are joining us for the very first time, the way this works is I have the movie split down into 4 chapters. We're going to be breaking those down, analyzing each chapter, and just going over generalizations about the film. So that's just a little bit about what I think about the movie upon my first reaction. What about you guys? Because some of you guys saw this for the very first time. And Elaine, you could also tell us about why you're so passionate about this movie.
You want me to start?
Yeah, sure. Go for
I'm
it.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh man, when did it come? In 1994?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so this was basically my Star Wars, I would say, because this is something that I got to see in the theater and experience for the first time as a little kid with my parents bringing me to the theater. I don't know. As a very small child, they were like bringing me to like Jurassic Park and everything. And then I couldn't really grasp it, I guess, at that age, but I was so fascinated still by the imagery and the characters and the concept that was just blew me away. And man, the 90s had some bangers for real. And I feel like this movie, I don't know, Star Wars is set in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and Star Trek is set in our distant future. But Stargate is our present time, and we are experiencing that traveling to across the known universe. And it just seems so fascinating to have that concept and to have it so almost seamlessly integrated with history, our history, and alien technology and all of that, the greater universe of life out there. And so, yeah, that just sparked my imagination. And I feel like that was kind of like my original Star Wars experience at the theater and just wowed me as a kid. That's where it began.
Well, Lane, it's funny, you know, you mentioned this being in the, 94 is, we were born in the early 2000s, Gen Z, and people hate it. We call the 90s movies classics.
I know.
The classics. It's like, oh God.
That's old.
How bad is that? It's rough. What about you? What about you guys? Luke, this was your first time watching the movie, right?
Oh yeah, correct. Yes. I saw it. I kind of skimmed through it a few years back, and I didn't really pay, I didn't really care much of it, but this is the first time I really paid attention and sat down and watched it. And, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was nice. Like you said, Elaine, like the present, it was nice not going back way in the past or the future. It was nice to, it was more realistic that way for me. And, the cast really did it for me. That's what grasped my attention.
Well, for me, the trope is what really did it for me, because this movie, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Pocahontas, and Avatar, has a very similar vibe to it, where we go to another civilization, main character falls for the woman there, start a revolution. It works for a reason. And if you watched Atlantis, The Lost Empire, the scene where James Spader is having the meeting where he's talking about the investors, it's the exact same scene, except Michael J. Fox is talking to nobody. He's just practicing it by himself. So it definitely has certainly jumped to a lot of other movies. And then you just go with the whole just the awesome technology of everything. Like I was saying backstage, I still have the toys of this movie, so this was a really big thing when it came out.
I'm glad they made toys of this because I was just looking at Stargate stuff and I saw them too. I'm like, let's go. Those old 90s toys, there's nothing else like them.
Well, there were so many you can do too, like all the different headdresses and stuff like that, like having the whole army. I wouldn't be surprised if Lego tries to make something new because they're just trying to do nostalgia stuff now.
I remember watching this because this is the first time. Usually I look into these movies because if they're like rated R and they have stuff in it I'm not interested in. I didn't check this out. And there was this scene where the girl takes her shirt off and like, oh crap, is something about to happen? And then I realized, okay, this movie is way too kiddie for that to happen. And obviously
there wasn't even
I was
like
say,
blood.
Lego it's in the safe zone. Lego will make a set possibly. I heard that Lego doesn't make sets if movies are above PG-13, like rated R. I guess that makes sense. You've never seen it, so I don't know. What about you, Sin? What do you think?
I enjoyed it for the most part. I kind of agree with you about there being some highs and lows. I wasn't fully enamored with this movie, but I watched it on a plane, so that was an interesting experience. But there were quite a few things I liked about it. I don't know why it took so long to ever watch it. For some reason, I just wasn't interested to check it out. I never watched the show. I knew of the show, but I never watched it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad I was able to. I'm glad I finally took the time to do it, even though I hadn't done it, for 30 plus years.
Elaine, with the show, I don't really know anything about the show. Was that like a 90s series? Was it an early 2000s series that recently ended?
I believe it premiered in 1997.
Okay.
Went on for a long time, from what I understand.
A lot of spinoffs.
And yes, I was going to say
Atlantis
that. There were
as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it premiered initially on Showtime, and I think maybe the first season or two, and then it moved to the Sci-Fi Channel, which was actually Sci-Fi spelled out SCIFI. They later changed and rebranded and didn't care about science fiction anymore. And that's when the troubles began with this particular IP, and that they didn't care about science fiction storytelling anymore. They were pivoting away, and that's why I think SG-1 actually was cut short. SG-1 was one of the most popular and longest running science fiction series ever at that time. I think longer than Star Trek, of any of those shows or any of that for a long time. Was initially ran for 10 seasons, and it could have gone longer, but that's when like the troubles were starting with the executives behind the scenes. Atlantis was cut short as well. They had other like movies, like made for TV movies connected to the shows. And then Stargate Universe was the last one that had 2 seasons. And I mean, but by today's standards, that's, I don't know, it's like 20 something episodes a season.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of hours of stories. It's quite amazing what they were able to accomplish, and despite all of those challenges with the suits and not knowing how to handle or not caring about science fiction anymore, and that's a real shame. It had so many opportunities, and I think the movie itself is such a unique concept, but it was pretty simple starting out with the film. A simple concept, one planet that they travel to, and it was just establishing the universe, and it was just a wonderful fertile ground to expound upon and enrich and expand that universe. And yeah, that's what they did, and hopefully there'll be more, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah, knowing what they do nowadays, make a sequel to everything. This could use a film sequel though. And I mean, you got Kurt Russell, he's still alive. You still have James Spader, even though he didn't look so good anymore. I thought it was a real pleasure just seeing young James Spader. He's a good-looking guy. He was great. Nice, very likable character in this. I was surprised. I thought I'd be more of a Kurt Russell kind of guy, but he was. I couldn't get over his hair. His hair just did not work for me.
Wait, are you talking about Spader's hair or Russell's?
No, I'm talking about Russell. Yeah.
Oh, with the military buzz
from Street
How
Fighter.
does he get it to stand up like that?
That's why his hair looked like that in Soldier, I think, too. It was very similar sort of look that he had.
Yeah, very
Here-
different than anything think I've seen Kurt Russell in before. So
I
No,
thought
it
he was
was
going to be the
fine.
bad guy in the end.
Mm.
I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
like a full military operation because I was, so far removed from it. I thought it was going to be like Avatar, where it's going to be Spader and Russell fighting it out in the end.
That would have been cool.
I never suspected that. I mean, obviously you know that he was up to something that the others didn't know about, but I
Yeah.
never really suspected it was going to come down to that. He didn't seem like that type of person to me.
That'd be
Yeah,
messed up, making the guy, the father who lost his
Who
son.
lost his son?
We need
Yeah.
to
Yeah, he's
discuss
the
that. I
bad
have
guy.
many questions about that scene, but we'll wait till that later on, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Were you gonna say something, Elaine?
Kurt Russell, his acting with his eyes really impresses me in this particular movie. There's a lot going on under the surface, and just some scenes where I don't know, just the look in his eyes, it's so sad. And I
Mhm.
think that's another reason why he's so reserved, but you still relate to him, you still connect with him right away because of what's happened in his past. And having that his stark difference of personality against Dr. Daniel Jackson's uh the way he carries himself is just complete opposite. The way he is, I think, just plays off so well. It's just something that they both needed or something. And that's another thing with Stargate in general, as they continue to go with the series, the chemistry between the team, the characters, is just one of the star highlights of this IP.
Mhm. Yeah, I noticed Kurt's acting in this movie. I mean, he's a phenomenal actor, but it's so funny, despite how you feel about the movie, it just amazes me at like how good of an actor. He hated this movie. He hated it, but he was bribed.
He did?
He was
Why?
bribed they paid him $7 million to keep going in this film. He hated the
Man.
script.
Whoa, I didn't
what
know
a-
that.
Oh, what
Yeah,
a
I know.
burden! $7 million to be in a movie.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah,
What a
Why
bastard.
did he hate it? Did he say?
he read the script and he just thought it was terrible. So I mean, I don't know.
Bro, Tom Holland did a gay sex scene where he was a bottom and took the money. What are we talking about here?
Oh,
You're telling me I
gosh.
can get,
Yeah.
really great shape, wear a tight t-shirt, and fight all these natives for $7 million?
I wonder if he changed his opinion about it after the film was done.
I don't know. I mean, I
That
think it
must
was
have
just
looked
pre-production.
To read a script though, and then because I feel like a lot of what strikes me about this movie is the imagery, the sets, the props, the
Mhm.
detail.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just reading it on paper, maybe your imagination just doesn't see it or can't picture it. So I wonder if I didn't hear about that. I didn't know. So I wonder if it changed
Elaine,
later. I know he
I'm
visited the set later, but of SG-1, but
I'm happy that you're here and you're excited about a movie you grew up with, right? We all have those token films in our childhood that just mean something to us, and just struck awe. This is probably a big reason why you fell into love with science fiction and film itself, right? And it's always hard to sort of get people to match that enthusiasm sometimes that didn't grow up with it. I know I have the hardest time trying to get people super excited about Signs. That's my favorite movie. of all time.
I
People are
love
like,
that movie.
"Signs?" They're like,
So good.
Oh, I love
Mhm.
Signs.
okay,
Oh,
well,
Yes.
that's good.
Disclosure Day was just a huge disappointment.
Oh my
Signs
gosh.
was so
Right?
What do you mean? It
Signs
crossed
looks much
120
better now.
million.
Yeah, that movie's. Yeah, I knew the day I saw it that movie was going to take a loss.
I'm
Yeah.
glad it did. That's great. That's music
I'm
to my
so
ears.
surprised how well Stargate has aged. Can I just say it looked every time I watch it, it's like, yeah, this still holds up incredibly well. I don't know if we want to get into specifics yet, but this a certain scene of an alien being shown that blew anything from Disclosure Day away, or anything from even the Odyssey. I'm gonna say it. The detail in costumes and sets was incredible. And even though there's very minimal how many locations there are, how many sets there are, it looks so good. The pyramid ships, the throne room, how ostentatious, and just the detail in everything. It's, I don't know. And today I feel like we're missing that. We're missing style. We're missing, I don't know, just caring about detail like that. Like the Odyssey, there's no character in it. There's no style that I'm seeing that's really intriguing me about it. And then we're seeing like the enemy guards, the detail in their entire armor and the movement of the helmets, the practical effects in there, and even the ship itself. There was nothing that stood out to me as far as dated VFX. It all looked really good. And that's something about the 90s as well. Jurassic Park, I think, is the only dinosaur movie that looks the best to me because it feels real. I don't know. And they just accomplished something back then. And I think we've lost. It's like the Starbucks of today. Everything looks gray and square. But back in the day, they cared enough to put thought and style into it. And even the smallest details. It's good, refreshing.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, where is that? Why not now? I guess maybe there's just no passion or enthusiasm for the work. Like the creative itch isn't there for these modern creatives. Maybe they're not given the opportunity. I don't know. A lot of this process seems pretty rushed nowadays too. So maybe they can't just invest as much thought into these projects as they used to.
Like the practical effects and creature designs and things like that. A lot of that is just they lean on CGI a lot, and it does take something away from it, I think.
Well, I was happy just to see, like, all of these characters, they all looked practical. They all looked like they were really there, especially like the beast that we're introduced to in maybe the first 20 minutes. I was wow, that's nice. It's an actual beast. It's there. It's handmade. It's giant. It looks, it's not completely convincing, but it's good enough.
That tongue licking was gross. That was gross
great.
and was not convincing. That tongue was not moving like a tongue should. But
nice. Yeah, that was pretty gross. I'll get us started with the first chapter here. So I think pretty much everybody here is probably pretty familiar with the movie. But this first chapter, we're mostly just going over the intro. The film opens with the 1928 discovery of the ancient ring in Giza, Egypt. Decades later, linguist and archaeologist Daniel Jackson, played by James Spader, is brought in to translate the mysterious cover stones after the military has failed to do so. Properly translating the ancient script, Jackson successfully triggers the massive portal. And once activated, the Stargate opens for the first time in thousands of years. First off, it was nice having a character named Jackson. My real name's Jackson. And I kept hearing my name in a movie. And I was like, finally, there's never any characters named Jackson. So that was nice. He kind of looks like a Jackson a little bit too, James Spader.
You could pull off that hair.
Yeah, I kind of look like him a little bit. I have a picture of him here. A little bit.
Oh,
wow.
Man,
that's
just like
hair with me? I don't know. You know what? He made circle glasses look good on a dude, though. And that's impressive.
He
that
did.
Not work.
He had the right face for it.
Yeah. This is going to sound weird, but I saw pictures of him without the glasses, and I preferred the pictures with the glasses.
It makes a difference.
You can't be a scientist without glasses.
You have to have glasses, especially smart. If you're going to be smart, you have to wear glasses. That's how it goes. But how do you guys feel that the film set up Daniel Jackson to be this likable, relatable character to follow?
Well, it was funny. I mean, he was proving all these scientists, actual scientists in this lab, wrong the whole time. And he just he played off this know-it-all guy, but it worked. He wasn't like a douche about it or anything. Just, he was just a likable all around. And, he was never wrong in most cases, and just made it more interesting.
I like that he wasn't pretentious. He walked into the room. He was the smartest person there. He wasn't just emasculating everyone with how he knew everything, and he was just genuinely excited about everything.
What you said. Yeah, he had this boyish excitement and this wealth of knowledge that he wanted so much to be able to share. Of course, people were kind of poo-pooing him in the beginning, when all those people left the room and everything, and you felt kind of sorry for him. But yeah, I really like the energy that he brought to this film. But then I like James Spader anyway, so.
Yeah, he's so good. I can't gush enough about Dr. Daniel Jackson and James Spader's portrayal. It's so... And I love the beginning of it, actually, because I feel like it's even more relevant today about how academia treats just new theories or just to ask questions. And he just embodies he embodies so well just curiosity, how he just he just thought that this wasn't when the time the pyramids were built. I don't know who built them, but we have this other information that just doesn't align with with what other things that we know. So yeah, it really is actually a very relevant and how academia actually is. And but I think just disproving a theory is just as important as proving it, because when it comes to finding the truth. And yeah, he just embodies he's so nice, he's so curious, and how that just paves the way for his journey. His reaction and seeing the Stargate and him just marveling at the event horizon, and just I don't know, is how different that was for Kurt Russell's reaction, who was like, I'm about to kill whatever is on the other side if I have to. His face was so different. And again, that's so great to see those different reactions, how they complement each other, I guess, in that sense, to have something on that side that's all right on the military side of this. And then we have the other one that is just genuinely open up to whatever discoveries are there on the other side. And yeah, so I love that duality to it.
Yeah, that enthusiasm. I mean, it just makes you really care about somebody when they're enthusiastic and passionate about something. And, I hate to always just bring up the new movies, but geez, what was the last time we saw a hero of ours in a new film, like enthusiastic and really passionate and absolutely enthralled by anything? You don't see it at all. And it's like, we're all super excited about things, and it's a familiar quality that makes you like somebody, just like the way you were gushing over this character, Elaine. I appreciate your love for this character, and that makes me like you more because of it. And same like with this character itself, you appreciate this guy because he's so invested in what he does. And I think for me, with like finding respect for him right off the bat is, this poor guy, he you see that his theory and his ideas, they're not supported by anybody. He doesn't, he's left on his ass at the end of the day. He's kicked out of his apartment. He's now homeless. He doesn't have a job. And really, he doesn't have anything to live for. It doesn't sound like anybody's in his life, especially because, at the end of the movie, he chooses to stay in this other world. That suggests that there's not a single reason to go back to the real world. So, he has nothing. And yet he's so that just shows you how invested he is in his work and in his ideals and his beliefs. He's so committed to that. And, those are just honorable qualities that I think we all could admire.
Yeah. And can I just say, I love the humor. The humor is just right. His jokes, like at the beginning, they all leave and like, is there lunch or something? Just the delivery is so good. It's so perfect.
It was sad though. It was kind of sad when he said
it's just the right amount. It doesn't throw off the tone, so you're still in it. It's not Marvel humor. It's not that. It's just perfect. Yeah.
Why do you guys think so? You just mentioned earlier, Luke, that the military or the scientists, the archaeologists that were trying to figure out the Stargate, that is sort of like under wraps. They don't understand what this is. And here you go, James Spader comes in and he figures it out, bing, bang, boom, right there on the spot. Why don't you think they were able to figure it out? Why were they so far off from where they should have been, given how much time they've probably had this in their custody?
Oh, that's easy. I'm sorry. I was going to say just a fresh perspective.
Well,
that's the problem. They're looking at this thing. They're staring at a wall. Eventually you just need someone to come in there and say, hey, look at it from a different angle.
Or probably because what they were looking at and trying to figure out was based on the same sort of mindset that those other people had, that this is the way it had to be, and they weren't looking at it from that other angle that he was willing to do, or that he was able to do.
Yeah, just a little difference in translation. I mean, it just made all the difference. From what was it, Doorway to Heaven, but that was wrong. It was Stargate, and it's close, but it's not it. Wasn't the key, and it made all the difference in what it actually was for. So yeah, that was pretty cool to see the how it all worked, how he has Ryland Grace energy from Project
Oh,
Hail
yes.
Mary.
Yeah.
I think that's
what
why
yep,
I
was gonna
love
bring
that
up.
Project Hail Mary
Mhm.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing going on here, right? Kind of a similar situation. Something I think what I was kind of caught off guard by with this was the really fantastical approach to connecting alien life and extraterrestrials with the pyramids and seeing how far back it goes and the connection that they were trying to make. Obviously, you hear people talk about it, they theorize about it now, how aliens built the pyramids, and there's a million theories about that. I don't know, I don't think about it much, but I thought this movie gave us a really interesting concept for how it could have been done, or how this world created that experience of the way that aliens interfered with Earth life back in the day, with the Ra, who controlled the ancient Egyptians. It was an alien at the end of the day who was posing as a human, and then things didn't go so well. There was a rebellion that struck, and Ra took a bunch of those Egyptians and teleported them over to the other planet and kept them hostage there as slaves. I mean, what an interesting concept, right? Somehow I think they pulled it off really well. How did you guys think the movie was able to construct this idea so well?
I don't know. There's a lot of theories out there, and just put one on screen. I personally think that they're just trying to shut everyone up about it. Just to feed them a little idea, a nice little thought of how it potentially could have been, created. And so I don't know. That's my theory on it.
Well, you mentioned it was an interesting concept, and those are the exact words that I wrote down. That was my second note. My first note was liked the character designs, and my second one was interesting concept, sci-fi and Egyptian culture / mythology, which also taps into a lot of these conspiracy theories or speculations about how the pyramids came to be. I mean, there's still a lot of mystery about the pyramids. They truly do not understand. I mean, there's stuff that they can see that are like down inside there, or goes down way down deep into the ground. They don't know what the hell that's about. And so I think this was a cool way to kind of tie those two things together.
I find it strange that Egyptian pyramids, we think that aliens or whatever like that, but Mexican pyramids, we know Mexicans built those things. We've never heard a single thing about that.
I think there's a difference in the pyramids. They aren't exactly the same type or construction. It's strange. It's fascinating stuff.
Good point.
Yeah, that's what I think is really amazing about science fiction itself, is how much it inspires the imagination that's usually from a seed of fact, of nonfiction, and or something from history, and someone with the creativity can build off of that seed of truth or history and then fill out this incredible universe. I love the fusion of human history with the incorporation of this alien technology, this ancient alien technology that once had this interference with humanity itself, and then gone, and then until we rediscover it again. And that's why I love Dune. I love how we're in this futuristic interstellar civilization, but it's also regressed in a lot of ways too. So you have that. And not so much with technology, but rather substance and anti-AI after all that. So this was just perfect for me. It really sparked my imagination. There's just things that are in there, core concepts that are built off of real things, real concepts in our lives. And I think that's just so cool to incorporate the science fantasy of it. And yeah, just sparks the imagination further.
It's so weird how layered it is too, I mean, we'll get to it, but you have like a crazy part of the story is that, the alien took a lot of the Egyptians from thousands of years ago over to that other planet, and you see them now in the present day, and they haven't changed at all, right? I mean, they're speaking that old dialect. They are probably living pretty much the same way they always did. There was no advancements. They didn't seem very well off at all. And I mean, we're
No,
talking,
he wouldn't allow it.
generations of people, and there was no advancements. And I don't know. That's just like, what an interesting concept there already. And, when you're over there on the other planet, you learn about the history, and you learn more about Ra and the oppression that Ra has over their people. And you learn about that through their text, right? And the carvings in their walls. And it's like, wow, that's pretty strange. I thought that was cool that they were able to mirror, the Egyptian kind of style from the real world to that world. Like, that's weird. I never saw that coming. What an interesting idea.
Yeah. My third note was, did not expect the turn this took. I had no clue. I went in very blind. And while I have seen still shots or very, short clips of the film, I knew James Spader was in it. I knew Kurt Russell was in it. I knew it had something to do with this portal to another place, but I had no freaking idea. They started getting attacked by those jackal creature looking things, and it was like, what the heck?
Oh, I love those.
Those designs were so cool, though. Especially when they would move their head, and then like the fins would come out. Like, wow, that's really cool. I like that a lot.
That was
and
amazing.
all practical.
Yeah.
It took almost a full hour before we got the villain and all those guys too. So they spent that whole beginning of it just building the world and building the characters. And it's like, okay, now we're going to have a fight.
This horror element kind of comes in. They're being attacked by this unknown thing. I was like, oh, is this like a horror too?
Yeah, the pyramid ship coming in at night first, and the lights and the dust, sand, cloud that it caused, like landing on top of them where the Stargate was. I love that. And during all of that, again, there's these I love the pacing of it, of this movie, in a tight 2 hours as well. I think it's one of the most well-paced movies, and how the story progresses quite nicely. You have the quiet moments to build the universe and get to know the characters, but it doesn't linger. It never feels like it's drags for me. And there's just fascinating character moments. And when Daniel is talking about the Traveler, that's like one of my favorite scenes too. James Spader narrating it. We're seeing the hieroglyphics, the paintings on the wall. He's talking about the Traveler, this ancient alien being who was dying, part of a dying race, and traveled across the stars. It's just so epic, and so great in its execution, so fascinating. And meanwhile, we have the horror element going on where they're landing, because we have the two separate of our heroes, the two different camps there. Oh yeah, and I love that we don't see them at first. We see the bodies being
yes, exactly. It's like, what is happening?
Building tension,
yep,
building the moment up, and then when you see him, I think it's the Horus guards is what they're called, which are the most badass looking of the of those kinds of guards. Oh, so superb. And again, the detail in it is awesome. One of the greatest like enemy reveals ever, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely sweet. Yeah, I never knew the name of them. They're called Horus guards.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what's said in the subtitles.
Cool, nice. Huh? It's such a familiar look. That design of like the sculpted head of an animal. What is it? Aren't they usually like mummy tombs? Or what is it? It's like a sarcophagus. Is that what it's called? Where you have like the sculpted design on the top. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are great.
Oh yeah, and at the beginning of the movie too, the score, how it opens, and then your final shot is of a sarcophagus head, and I love that. The music is so good in this, and I love again the sarcophagus that we see later. The technology of it's a healing device, and then how it moves though, how it opens and closes, that's all practical, and the detail and all of the symbols on it is so good. I just
that's pretty amazing.
I just love it.
Some of it doesn't look like it. Like I didn't know that. That's cool. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mega Spider-Man. Let's get to some of these chats and say hello to everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Mega Spider-Man, our regular friend. We appreciate you. Hiya, lads. Glad to see you discussing this. Though I didn't go mad on it. Is the show worth a watch? To all favorite Kurt Russell film and why? Elaine definitely says the show's worth a watch, I imagine.
Oh yes.
Yes, and she's the only one that's
Say
seen it, I think. Oh, you've seen it too, World War Joe. That's right.
yeah, absolutely.
Cool. My favorite Kurt Russell film is The Thing. I love The Thing.
Likewise.
Not much can beat The Thing with me.
I think that's the first one that popped in my brain. It's like the only one I can think of. But I like a lot of his movies.
Movie too.
I'm trying to think of something else though.
I love
when he was
Overboard a
White
lot.
Earp. Tombstone is White Earp. That was pretty good.
Oh,
He was good in that.
Yeah, there you go, Mega. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Proctfile, what's up, Procto?
Hey, Procto.
Member for 4 months. We appreciate you, Proctfile. There's a new members only video, everybody. My newest DVD haul. If you want to check it out, much appreciated. Proctfile, good evening, boys and girls. Half girls today, Proctfile. It's not the bullpen like it usually is. How are we all doing tonight? We're doing good, man. Doing good. We're all pumped.
Recovering.
About Stargate.
Recovering.
Sin is recovering.
I'm recovering from a long ass day yesterday at the airport on the way home.
Ugh,
Still feeling very drained. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, good.
I'm glad you got to watch this on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
I watched the first half on the way over to Denver, and then I watched the rest on the way back.
Nice. Run on the Hamster 400. Hashtag save Stargate.
No, I actually got into a fight with Gary from Nerdrotic about it the first time I ever talked to him on Twitter because the show got canceled, the new one they were making. And I said, good. Can you imagine what they would do with it today?
Oh,
They canceled it.
They're going to do it. That's the thing. They're going to do a new Stargate. They canceled the one that fans wanted with the people that were involved
No,
with Stargate before. No, now they're going to get a new person who has no. They said they're going to get a new person who has no connection to the franchise, who can update it for modern.
Oh no! Did they really say that?
Yes, that is.
Gosh,
what the trades are reporting on, that they wanted to see that they didn't. Their vision wasn't aligned with that fans were going to like it too much, or that they didn't. That was the excuse that they made, and they said, "Oh, well, we'll probably try again with someone new who can offer a fresh, new perspective on the franchise that doesn't have a history with it." So now I have no hope for what they're gonna, but they're gonna do something, because they're not gonna sit on one of their. They said they're gonna do something. They spent $8 billion on MGM, and that's one of the first things that they had identified to do something with, a film or show. And and Legally Blonde was one of them too, which they just did their prequel show, and they're moving on with James Bond after Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 3. So yeah, they're gonna do something, but now I have no hope for what that will be. Now this is the only thing I had hope for, because of who was involved, and that it wasn't a reboot, that it was a continuation of the continuity, that they weren't just going to redo the whole thing, and new Daniel Jackson, new Colonel Jack O'Neill with who knows what else. And yeah, so now I'm really dreaded. That's why we're saying save Stargate, because save it to what the fans actually were wanting. And now, of course they didn't want that. Of course, the Amazon executives were like, nah, no,
it'll be fine.
We don't want the fans to win. We don't want the fans to win. So we're gonna take it away from that. Yeah. So it's just really a whole dumpster.
I don't
fire
understand
now,
this
situation.
mentality. It makes no sense to me.
Well, before that, I never like when we hear that these people are involved in it and they're going to do the fans thing. Like Kathleen Kennedy on paper sounds like the biggest Star Wars fan of all time. James Gunn sounds like the biggest DC fan of all time. So maybe back then, but we've seen how people get corrupted these days. So I don't know. I want to hope
they weren't going to toe the line, and that's why it got canceled. Because the people that were involved with Joseph Malazzi, who was an executive or a writer on SG-1, Atlantis, SGU, and Brad Wright and Martin Garrow, who actually began his early career on Stargate SG-1, who was going to be the showrunner. Yeah, it meant so much to them. They wanted to care. They cared about it. And they wanted to foster it and give the fans what they wanted, but make it accessible to new fans. So it was a fresh jumping on point. But of course, they don't want to give, at the end of the day, don't want to give the fans what they want. And it's just a horrible situation.
Makes you so angry.
Yeah.
It's so infuriating. I hate that.
And especially with Stargate, because Stargate itself, as an IP, has dealt with this specific thing so many times in the past. When the Sci-Fi Channel became Sci-Fi with a Y, and they didn't care about science fiction anymore, so they stopped making science fiction content and prioritizing that, and instead started doing like wrestling and ghost hunting shows and reality shows, just cheap content they could put on the channel, and they just didn't care anymore.
Like they do with History
they
Channel
lost that.
too.
Same thing. Yeah.
When they
That's
put
a shame.
Smack, when they put WWE SmackDown on the Sci-Fi Channel, I was like, "What is going on here?"
I didn't know they had done
Channel.
that. Oh god.
Randomly, it's like, why would this be part of it?
I guess it's the fiction part of science fiction.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
Wow, that's slim. Oh gosh. All right, let's
Yeah.
see here.
That's rough.
Oh, Proctfile says interesting avatar, Elaine. Very Dune meets Stardew Valley.
Thank
Stardew
you.
Valley's fun.
I love
I
it.
don't see the Stardew Valley. You're tripping. Stardew Valley is like little pixels. Don't see that. Oh, okay. Look at that. Oh, Ryan the Hamster says there's no Lego set. Check out Blue Brick's Stargate sets. Oh, cool. Nice. I like the little off-brand like Lego sets. Some of them are nice. There's some great Fallout sets like that. Oh, cool. Ryan the Hamster also says Stargate SG-1 has a huge box set. So much content. He's
Believe
talking
it.
about DVDs. That's sweet. Awesome. I do not, and I don't collect TV shows with DVDs because there's too much there.
That's
And
where
they're
you
real
draw the
expensive.
line.
Yeah, that's
Like you
it.
got a billion movies. And
I
stuff,
know,
but
it's
TV
too
shows
much,
is like
man.
a no.
It's too much.
Did you ever
Too many-
finish the Lego set? Did
Huh?
you buy didn't you buy the Lord of the Rings? the
Yes,
giant
yes,
thing?
I'm working
Did you finish
on
it?
No,
Oh.
nowhere close. I'm about like a 10th, and I've spent like 20 hours on it. It's enormous.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Prince 15, the Golden Tomato. Oh gosh, dang it! I'm not gonna say that. I love how stoic Kurt Russell is on this movie. The series for me, mwahaha. I guess he's asking us how stoic he is in the series. Well, I think he's got a nice stoicism. You know, Elaine mentioned it. You know, I appreciate his like burdened gaze. Like he has this gaze where you just feel like he's got weight on him and he's carrying a lot of weight everywhere he goes. It's not just
does.
him being stoic, right?
Yeah.
You
He's
can
lost a
appreciate
child.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we discuss that now? Because
Yeah.
was the kid? Because I was waiting for the end of the movie to try to figure that out. Was the kid? Did he die when he was a child? Or did he die as an adult and then he was sitting in the
No,
childhood bedroom?
Child.
Sound like he
So-
was a
Child.
child.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
in the first scene that we see him in, I believe that's his bedroom.
Mhm.
His
Yes,
kid's
the kid.
bedroom.
Yeah, there's no way this
And-
man is able to lead a group of people after something like that.
Mm.
Like he's there.
he was
like,
about ready to commit suicide.
yeah, and then
or
afterwards he
like-
got a buzz cut and he's ready to go. Like I don't know about that.
Well, and the whole mission itself was a suicide mission.
Suicide mission,
He
yeah.
was going to be the one to, if they succeeded in getting to the other side, and if they found something nefarious, was going to stay behind to activate the bomb. So he went in knowing,
Mm.
yeah.
I would
So
have
he
liked a
was
little
suicidal
bit
from the beginning.
more emotion, like him fighting with James Spader over it, saying, "I have to do this. This is my job." Let me
Wow,
do
that
this
would have been
thing."
interesting.
Like something like that. That's why it seemed like we had this really emotional scene, and then afterwards he's ready. I was hoping for that big crying moment towards the end where he was willing to sacrifice himself with the bomb.
Yeah,
That would make
I feel like the emotional payoff though was him wanting to live again, and his relationship where the scenes with Skara. I don't know if they said his name, but the young kid who kind of became enamored with the team.
Oh, yeah, I think
and
that's his
Colonel
name.
Jack O'Neill personally, and when his reaction to when he tried to touch his weapon, his gun, it kind of got upset at that reaction. And yeah, I feel like because he went in knowing I'm gonna die, I want to die, basically, and you could even see that when they activated the gate, that I'm ready for war, I'm ready to kill whatever's on the other side and be killed, or whatever. And yeah, I like the fact that at the end there's more of a, I don't know, he's reached a place where he can stand to live again, that he's reached that point where he has something to live for. He
Yeah.
knows Daniel's there. He knows that life is much bigger than his planet, than on Earth. And I don't know, I think there's something there. It's such a traumatic situation. I can't even imagine how you would begin to cope with something like that. And I think a lot of people would just shut off like he did, just to avoid feeling anything, to avoid feeling or even considering that grief. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah, well, he definitely did shut off, right? And then somehow, maybe it's the villagers that warmed him up. I think they were probably responsible for sort of getting him out of that funk, because, it looked like he looked at that Scar kid as, I don't know. I
Kind of
wouldn't
like a
say
surrogate
anything.
son.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't
I
know.
just want to go a little bit deeper with it. That's all I was looking for with it.
That would have been
Yeah.
interesting, like an
Yeah,
outrage.
yes.
That could have been.
No, yeah, I get it. And I feel like that's why the series kind of built on that a little bit. And even then, you probably agree, like Richard Dean Anderson's his taking on the role, he's different. He's a different O'Neill than with two L's. But there's a lot more humor there. But that actually is a gradual process. I really like how they did that. And I think at the very end, he says the line, "Give my regards to King Tut." And that's something that's definitely Richard Dean Anderson's O'Neill would say. I feel like there was just a glimmer of that this is who he really is. This is, when not so burdened with grief. And I think they evolved that character very well with Richard Dean Anderson and what he was able to bring. And they did touch on some of those things gradually throughout the show. Window of Opportunity, I think, is one of my favorite ones, that you see him come out and talk about his son. And I don't know. Yeah, it's some great emotional depth, I would say, that they just scratched the surface of. They could have had more.
So it sounds like there's a few of these characters that continue into the show but have different actors.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I was wondering if Richard Dean Anderson played Kurt Russell's character, and sounds like he did. Someone mentioned that Daniel Jackson's character is in the show too.
Yeah, so SG-1 is the team that's established. So once once they're able to discover that the gate can dial multiple addresses, that's like a huge thing that allows them to travel to all different kinds of planets. And yeah, so we have Colonel Jack O'Neill and Daniel Jackson. How they get together, I'm not going to spoil.
Okay. Okay, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. But then there's other ones that join. Then there's like it's a 4 team. 4 team members.
Yeah.
But also a couple actors from this movie. The tribal leader and Skara also appear in the show.
Okay. It's the
So
same.
the young
it's
boy
the same
and
dudes.
the tribal leader, I forget his name as well, but I love him. He was great.
Yeah, that guy's easy to point out in the crowd. I've seen him in other things. And it's like, yep, I know that face. We'll just get to a few more of these chats real quick, and then we'll move on over to the next chapter, chapter 2. Practical. Most of Jurassic Park was done using practical effects. That requires a level of vision and attention to detail that you can't really make up for in post-production. Well, that's for sure. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants it back. I mean, are we asking for that much? We've talked about like prices. Is it cheaper? Is it more expensive? It is more time consuming, I imagine. But
well, if they can spend $240 million on live action Moana, they can afford better practical effects.
Yeah.
You would like the Flintstones movie, the original one. It's all practical effects and all the gadgets and everything. There's very little CGI in that one.
Cool.
Yeah, and how does those movies like look better than the new ones? It's and I think part of that, yeah, it is. It's night and day. But it's not just how it looks. It's how, I can't explain it, but it's how it feels and sounds. Like dinosaurs don't have weight to them anymore. And I feel like that's a similar thing, that they don't think about just little things like details, like how the dinosaur moves and how that would sneak up, like they cared about the T-Rex approaching, and they had the water ripples in it. But nowadays it's just they want to get to the action right away. And there's an art to building that tension and introducing the villains or the monster or whatever. And I don't know, they're just in too much of a rush. They think that audiences just want to get to it right away and don't take the time. Don't take the time for like just little moments, character moments, and quiet moments, and then have a nice little explanation. Not too much of a lore thing, but just enough, and then action. It's just they don't pace things well today anymore. It's just all action all the time.
You know what's the worst example of that is the new Godzilla Kong movies. You know,
Oh
there's
gosh,
no
I did
no
not like the
dimension.
first
That's
one.
all. That's just for Kong and Godzilla diehard fans. honestly.
Not
Ugh.
even. I mean, it's like just like Elaine said. You know, there's no dimension there at all. And you know, okay, you see King Kong, you know, bashing into these buildings, but you know, you don't feel like these buildings are actually the skyscrapers we all know that are massive landmarks with, you know, thousands of people inside. You don't see that. You don't feel it at all. And they don't care. They'll just keep doing it.
And
The
then
art
there's
is gone.
Godzilla, and then there's Godzilla -1, which is a cinematic masterpiece, I think, that did everything right.
Yep.
And Godzilla looks awesome, and
And didn't spend a crap ton of money on it.
15
Yeah.
million, I think, was the budget.
Yep.
Wow.
Can't
So
complain
refreshing.
there.
Like good character arcs with that. Like I love
Yes.
good monster action as much as the next person, but it has to be centered around like the human stories should
Yep.
also they're just as important.
That's the connector for me. If I don't have that, I don't care. I did not like Godzilla versus Kong, or what the
Oh,
heck.
gosh.
did not like that.
Godzilla
so I
X
didn't.
Kong.
Godzilla X. I didn't watch the second one because I was just not a fan of the first one. It was so superficial.
only
and
gets worse.
boring. Yeah, I know. So no thanks.
Swinging
Our
his kid
friend,
around.
Ian Morris at Movie.case. Good seeing you, Ian. Has anyone here ever seen any of Kurt Russell's films he did for Disney when he was a kid?
Yes.
Yeah, a
I
while
love-
back, long
What,
time ago.
what movies were those?
Like
Oh,
the
he was a
computer wore
big
tennis
Disney.
shoes.
Yeah, he was like. What
Favorite.
didn't someone say that Walt Disney said his name? That was like his last words or something when he died, or
crap.
something like
Oh,
that.
damn.
I didn't
Yeah, I
know
think
that.
I
Wow.
think so. It was some sort of weird thing about that. Yeah, Walt
bleak.
Disney. Yeah, and a cool story of him working with Charles Bronson when he was pretty young. Yeah,
Wow. No, I didn't know
No
that.
idea.
he's been in the business for a long, long time.
Disney movies used to be, I don't know, they used to have a lot of movies like that were, I guess, equivalent to Disney Channel movies, but they were just better, more like
Good.
Turner Classic Movie kind of
Mm.
caliber. And yeah, he did a lot of those. I don't
Yep.
remember, the computer wore tennis shoes was the only thing that comes to mind of when he did.
Out of all those old Disney movies that are like that, the only one that I've seen or at least remember is A Straight Story. Remember that? Is it A Straight Story or The Straight
No.
Story?
No.
Is that what it's
think I've
called?
heard of
Maybe
that
I'm
one.
tripping. It's the one about the old man on the lawnmower.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, that's a good
But
one.
like Candle Shoe and what was it, Swiss Family Robinson? They had a bunch of those.
That
movies.
darn cat, I like that.
Oh,
Darn
that
cat, I love that.
Nice. Prince 15, the Golden Tomato. What's up, man? Nice name, too. Oh, and to add to the movie discussion, I love how Jackson refused to make out with the Egyptian chick, but in the end ended up kissing her. Ah, the romantic development of Doc Jackson. Yeah, he's like, nah, and then he's like,
Can you
yeah,
believe it?
all in. Yeah,
An
romance,
actual
romance
romance.
is good.
I mean, he didn't want to make out with her because he felt like it would, she was offering
was
herself up to
degrading,
him, and it
yeah.
was, and he and I mean, he was attracted to her, you could tell, but it was a relationship that was allowed to continue before, straight to the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he had some respect. And
Yes.
maybe that's probably partly how he got the girl, which would make sense. The first step.
I know,
So
but
this-
they missed a golden opportunity where she takes her top off. He should have said, "Those are very lovely, but I'm good." Something like that, though.
Wow.
Like, no, I'm good,
Nice.
thank you.
That would have been funny. That's correct. Yeah.
Just his
Nice.
open-mouthed, stunned face.
Yeah.
Man.
And then
Oh, bro.
I like the reaction when it's he was going to leave or something. They were in the doorway and it seemed obvious that nothing had happened. And he realized the situation was that this was looking bad for her. Like that he was rejecting her. So then he, just like closed that they, pretended that they went back and took care of business.
It's like, yeah, just want to tell you guys, thank you.
I want to teach her English or want to teach her writing and
That's good. So in this second chapter here, we're still early in the story, technically, but our friend Kurt Russell, he finally enters the scene as Colonel Jack O'Neill, and he's brought out of retirement to lead a military team tasked with venturing far into the Stargate. And Daniel also joins as the civilian expert who is responsible for finding a way for the team to return. Along the journey, tensions arise between the military mindset and Daniel's academic approach. The team travels through the wormhole and lands in an identical Egyptian pyramid. Getting sucked further into the desert, Jackson and Colonel O'Neill discover a strange civilization of humans lost out of time. Now, I was curious to know what a Stargate even was, because I knew absolutely nothing about this movie. The Stargate is this, I don't even know, as teleportation device isn't really the right term for this. Elaine, maybe you can help us understand, and we'll just kind of workshop this. What is exactly happening when you travel through the Stargate? Or, is this like teleporting? Is it like some sort of like spiritual experience flying through? Is your body, dissolved and then rebuilt once you're spit out the other end? What do you guys think?
I think it's like a portal, which is like a teleportation. A type of teleportation.
Yeah, it's a wormhole. It's a wormhole device that it's connecting, and you can kind of see it in this when they go through it, and then there's the special effects of them traveling through the physical matter is breaking down, and it's being transmitted through the wormhole, and is put back together on the other side.
Yeah.
Like
reconstructed. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish that was real. That would be nice.
Right? You know how convenient that would be? No more traffic jams.
Can't we get something like this, please? Like, we've all wanted it. We've had conversations with people. It's like, can I just teleport there? And there's nothing. There's no solution. It's a shame. But, this film, the solution isn't that accessible either. It's this big portal. So it's not really that good of a situation as well.
It is interesting that they don't really say this like technical specifications of what's happening. They don't really understand that yet. And I
was gonna say that's the difference between writing back then and writing today. I was watching a video about Ghostbusters, the new one, the all-female one, and it showed the scene which they were in the elevator in the first one, and Bill Murray said, a couple of guys with nuclear power backpacks, versus the new one where it was science. So back then it was like, hey, we pretty much know it. It's a portal, it's a wormhole, travels you to another place. That's all we need. If it was done today, we'd get a long-winded explanation of everything.
Yeah, that's so great that it gives you just enough information. That's why I feel like it's well paced. Another reason, like, it doesn't overload you with lore. We don't have these elaborate conversations about
exposition.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 2-hour movie. We can't really dwell on it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm so sick of being explained to everything. It's already bad enough living as a person and people try to explain everything to you. It's like, stop talking. It's like I'm trying to escape in a movie. Just let me figure it out myself. Oh gosh, even though that's literally what we're doing
over-explained. Yeah, no. It allows for like the imagination, I think, to work. And like with I'm sorry, I keep going back to Dune. It's on my mind a lot. But Frank Herbert didn't explain a lot about prior to the story of when that actually starts, was just 20,000 years into our future. There's just so much that's there that allows for the imagination to fill in. And I just love that. I love that it doesn't hold your hand, that you just are given just enough information for the story to work. And that's why another reason why I think it was great for a great foundation to expand upon later in the form of a show. That's when they explain a lot of that stuff.
Well, I think that's good. It's like, let us have some sort of creative agency over the material. Give us not the bullet points. I mean, obviously I imagine the book is so detailed, but a lot of it is left for your interpretation. I would like to just, invest in a story and just read it and then, make the designs in my head and not be, succumb to, another creative's choice in crafting and designing what the words say. That would be nice, but I can't stand reading. I can't bring myself to it. That's the curse of Gen Z. We don't
Actually,
read.
listen to an audiobook.
I like those. I like those. School has
Okay.
scarred me. School has scarred me. I don't want to read anymore because of school.
No, I get you. I was the same way. I started to detest reading and writing after English class, especially in college. So I get it. Totally get it. But audiobooks are fantastic, and that is reading to me.
And that's your work?
Oh,
That is my work. Yes. Yep. My convention trip to Denver was all about audiobook stuff.
That's sweet. Elaine would also be good at narrating audiobooks.
She got a great voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. There you go.
So nice.
I want to talk about these villagers. We've been having a lot of positive talk about them, and I appreciate that. But I got to be honest, I thought they were really annoying, and I didn't like them at all.
All villagers?
Yeah.
You racist!
I hate them.
I didn't like that they were human all the way. I think that was a problem because when they came over the ridge and it was like, whoa, there's people here. It's like, yeah, they're just in different outfits than you.
Yeah, so this is interesting because one of the things, I'm so glad you mirrored that, but one of the reasons, one of the things I was thinking was when they encountered them, oh, how convenient. They're just still humans. But as the story unfolded, I totally get it because they are humans. They were brought over from Earth. They aren't, another species, but I was expecting them to encounter an entire species of, different.
Like
I mean, I think that happens in the series, if I'm not mistaken. But I do like that it was explained how in the heck they found humans in this other place. So that didn't bother me after getting that information.
Yeah, it's really interesting how it connects. Again, that connects to like human history there with the Stargate. They were able to once the traveler reached Earth and appointed himself, like found a human body that would support his life, like a parasite seeking a host. And he traveled so long across these vast distances throughout the universe and finally found humans that were compatible for him to live. And that makes sense too, as far as that why humans are way out here across the known universe. So we have the Stargate itself, and that they took them and they're mining that substance that the Stargate is made of. And so that's another thing of why there has appointed himself over, like the gods over these primitive people that can mine this extremely valuable resource of which the technology that they use is based on. So yeah, it's I don't know, some suspension of disbelief there, and I don't know. I like
I have
it.
a question.
I like the tribal leader.
I have a question about that, and maybe it's just I'm drawing a blank on what was explained in the film. Did he travel to other places with other species and couldn't find a proper host body, and humans were the only species that would work? Is that what it was?
I believe, let's see, I think I made a note on that.
Or was it Egyptian humans were the only people that would host it? I
think it was just humans in general. So they showed that he was a part of a dying alien race.
Okay,
but they leave some leeway there for it to be expounded upon later, that he's basically a parasite who, that body that he was in as a parasite and the host body was dying, and the race that species was a part of, their whole race was dying out. So he traveled across the stars trying to seek a compatible host to extend his life. And humanity was that what finally found something that he could live on.
As humans in general. I read something interesting. I don't know if you know this, but Ra was originally intended to be an ancient Egyptian who worked for the aliens. But they changed it, I guess, like post-production or whatever, due to issues with the actor's performance, it said. So they just made him the actor's performance.
Because I thought it was an actress most of the time, but that's a dude.
And I could tell it was a guy. But like apparently there were issues with his performance, so they made him, they depicted him with alien characteristics like the glowing eyes. Whatever. I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Ooh,
It was something I found when I was just looking up information about it, some, further detail or whatever, and that was a factoid I found.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with the show, I guess, the background of that. And yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, the way that Ra is presented, the way he carries himself seems very alien. That it doesn't, but still, I like he's so filled with megalomania, and I just love that. I think they did it very well. That this is an entity that decided to rule over primitive humanity and was able to do so with the technology at his disposal, and just went incredibly to his head. That it appointed himself to be worshipped in this way, and I don't know, no one could question that. His false godship. I don't know. Yeah, the way he acts is very interesting. It seems alien-ish to me, not like.
It seems very typical of a totalitarian, authoritarian leader. So
yeah, that's for sure. First off, Ian, is that Nicodemus? Yes, that is him.
Yes, it is.
He looks the same too. I thought, just getting back to the villagers, I think for me, the villagers, they kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. It was mostly like the cutesy moments they were trying to do with them. They just weren't cutesy to me. You have what's his name? Scar. I didn't like Scar at all. I thought he was really annoying. And I don't like his little brother or his cousin. He has this derp face the whole time.
Oh, yeah, he does have a derp face.
And then I hate to say it, when he died at the end, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
His helmet comes flying off. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny to me. I hate to say it. I'm not that cold. That was not very well done in my eyes. But I felt like, I don't know, like this people, they were so helpless and they were unable to do very much in this situation. I guess that makes sense, right? Because they're dealing with alien intervention. They don't have any means of
they don't have the weapons.
Fighting against it. But I guess
reading and writing was banned.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that's an important sense of expression. So that's fair. But I don't know. Do you guys feel like there was a part of them that was just kind of dull, like they were sort of dim-witted, or was it that this like oppression that they've been under has forced them into acting that way?
I think it's the latter. They weren't dumb, there were multiple characters that had a curiosity about them, but they were limited as they had no tools in which to be able to expand beyond the situation they were in. So that's just, you see, this is what it did to them.
Also, they clearly look incredibly different than they clearly weren't from around there. And they saw Daniel's necklace, that ancient Ra symbol. And so these must be connected to Ra. This may be his emissaries or something.
It's a god. Yeah.
We're trying to please them. And that's why they went. That's why presented them food and drink and
they were bowing down.
Okay, that helps.
Then they were trying to mimic everything he said.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right,
And they're just trying to learn about their civilization because they had to find a point of reference so they can get back home. They need to find their language. They need to learn about them. So they needed each other in this situation. I agree. It could have been more, I don't know, done with more finesse, I guess, when it comes to writing with their characters. But I get it to a degree. Also, their naivete and just they're under such an oppressive rule.
Yeah.
That this is just what life has been for them for since our ancient time as well. They've just been living that for the rest of throughout their generations of that of ancient Egyptian history.
In stasis, they had no advancements.
Yeah, what a crazy existence, right? Generations and generations of that oppression and believing that the alien is a god that controls everything. And there's no resources either, right? I mean, they're in the middle of the desert. I don't even know how they get by in that environment. I mean, it doesn't look like there's anything around.
Barely. Yeah. Just the sandstorms that came out just out of nowhere was like, that's a regular occurrence for them.
Gosh.
I did find it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I love that we're on a desert planet again. Their famous desert planets. But I like that it's different in its own way. I think they did that well.
Always stuck on a desert planet.
I thought it was a little convenient that they magically, automatically knew how to wield these weapons and operate them. I wish it had shown them being instructed a little bit.
Yeah. Like
because
totally different than
weapons in ignorant hands can often result in death or terrible injury.
That would have been interesting. Yeah,
I think they talked about that though in one scene where they can make good soldiers right at the very end, and Colonel O'Neill was pushing back on that, like, no, we can't arm them. Yeah, and of course, obviously with his background, that's understandable from his take. Yeah, I think they were trying to wrap things up again. It's like, but I like that it's 2 hours. I don't know.
I don't think it would have taken
2 hours.
A long amount of time to show it. Just, quick little clips of them just demonstrating certain things. I don't even think it would have taken longer than a minute.
Something that comes to mind. I'll put this down because we're not talking about this yet. But I don't know why. The weirdest thing, we watched Dark Crystal maybe a month ago. I ended up, it's one of those movies you think about a lot after it's over, and mostly because you're scarred. But, a scene that could have worked possibly here in like a different format is I loved how one way of telling the two main characters' past and their stories of their childhood and their upbringing was they put their heads together and they shared their memories. And when they both talked, they were telling just light references of their upbringings, and their the sentences they're both saying came together. It was very interesting. Now, I'm not saying we do something exactly like that, but even just like a blurry montage, of certain events happening, like maybe taking us maybe learning more about their people, or learning, or maybe just even like a strange training sequence, just adopting that. I really liked that form of just filling in the cracks. It was so simple. It was brilliant. It was interesting. It doesn't completely apply here, but that's what comes to mind for whatever reason. I think it could be interesting. But, moving on to what I believe to be, compelling in the intro is the relationship here, because James Spader, I did not expect us to have a romance in this, especially with this guy. He kind of looks like a friend I had in high school, and he's into dudes. So those are, didn't see those lining up exactly. But yeah, James Spader, he got this nice girl here. And I was excited for him. Like, good for you, man. This is awesome. How did you guys feel that the relationship played out in this? Do you think it was a good romance? Did it feel a little forced? Could the movie have, done better without it and give the time to other purposes? How do you think it played out?
I mean, I think it was predictable. It was kind of like a formula, but it was important because that was why he decided to stay, or that was a huge contributing factor as to why he decided to stay there. Plus also just the culture, and that was what he had immersed his whole identity and life in, was Egyptian culture and history. So that was probably also a draw too.
I thought it was cute. I think we need to, of course, give the hero a girlfriend or something like that to fight for in this movie.
Yeah, he was too good of a person. The nerdy guy gets the girl.
That's not accurate.
I think it's so
In movies, it is.
refreshing
It is refreshing.
to have romance. And again, that's I keep thinking about movies today in reference. Like, why can't we just have a boy and a girl have like an instant attraction to each other? And yeah, the circumstances were not obviously ideal, but that's what makes these kinds of stories very special. I want to see stories where these characters are living in this fantastical universe. I want to be immersed in that world for 2 hours. And it made me believe in their relationship. Even in this brief amount of time, it felt organic to me. It was simple, and romance stories used to be simple. It wasn't it wasn't a huge part of the story, but it was sweet. It was sweet, and something that's sorely missing today is just these wholesome romances in movies like this. Yeah.
Gives you
Used to
another
happen
reason
in
to
Star
get
Wars,
excited
but
for him
yeah.
too. It's like, hey, keep her safe, help her, learn English. Hopefully it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Somehow he learns her language in an instant, which we'll get to later. I think I turned away for a second and I missed something important, but I don't know where he could, understand their language. So, okay, that was interesting.
I think it was because he already had a kind of a foundation of some of that stuff. And it seemed
Yeah.
That's
Did
exactly
they
it.
say
He knows.
something about the vowels? Like, it was when they were in right before he explains the traveler. It's like it was a dead language and I wasn't spoken, but once I learned something about the vowels and the placement of it, I was able to understand.
Okay.
I mean, either that or it's just lazy writing. I mean,
oh my god!
well, I mean, they can only show so much of him struggling to piece it all together. So,
do you remember Johnny Storm memorizing Silver Surfer's language?
Yeah, how did that happen?
I mean, isn't this like the same thing?
Yeah, but at least with Johnny Storm, you wouldn't expect that. At least with this guy, James Spader is into the culture. At least it makes more sense.
Yeah,
and we have it a precedent. He did school the other people and made the Stargate work to begin with. So he's very into his field of study, and this is something
some
that's
people they're good at piecing things like that together.
I thought there was some sort of. I thought maybe when he healed. He like maybe being in the chamber it like enlightened his mind. That's not what happened.
No, it's not that.
It's
simply he learns the language. He knows what's going on.
Yeah,
it really clicked because he was stumbling the whole movie, and then all of a sudden he's speaking it fluently and understands everything he's saying.
I don't think it was all of a sudden. I think there was some time compression. You understand that they'd been talking for a bit. They were discovered talking, and that there had been quite a bit of stuff going, discussion going on about that. And also think, if you think about, like, let's say people who know Latin, there's a lot that they can kind of understand about certain languages that are connected to Latin because it's that foundation. So that's the way I took it anyway.
And it wasn't like perfect speaking. He wasn't like rattling off all of it was like simple words and phrases.
Yeah, talking full sentences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very rudimentary.
Like Spanish and Italian, they're similar but different.
Yes, exactly, and Portuguese too.
Yes, exactly.
Here, let's get to some of these chats real quick, and then we'll move on to the next chapter. Thank you all for watching, as always. We appreciate you guys and chatting with us. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. Ian Morrison, Movie Nutcase. Good to see you, Ian, as always. Spielberg knew how to build tension through visuals alone because he grew up with Hitchcock.
Operative word being new. KNEW in the past, because I don't feel that's a thing anymore.
Wow. Ian Morrison says, Brawler, sadly, the next Godzilla versus Kong will be the final performance from Sam Neill.
He was in that?
He was in that? Wait.
That's weird. The newest one, I guess.
First of all, there's a new one they're making? What more story is there to tell?
There's no story. It doesn't matter.
I know. That's it. Yeah. No story. Just big monsters.
There wasn't any story in the last one either. You didn't notice, though.
He was in a recent Netflix TV show with Eric Bana called Untamed, which I watched last year. So it's kind of sad now to think about that.
Oh,
Mm.
man.
Yep, he
I
did.
want to see what he
He's
looks
great.
like. Old Eric Bana.
I feel like the same, just gray hair.
He looks
seen him
good. He
recently.
just has some salt and pepper, in his hair.
Nice.
He was
Salt and
great
pepper.
in that show. I really
Is that
enjoyed
keyword for dandruff?
it. No,
Okay.
it's keyword for streaks.
Streaks.
That's called salt and pepper. When you have, it's not fully gray or
Oh,
not
okay.
mostly
Like
gray.
Doctor
It's just like
Strange.
sprinkles. Yeah. Well, Doctor Strange has those like side things.
I thought that's what you're talking about.
You know what's funny?
No.
I've seen there's a lot of young people I went to college with, and they had gray hair. Like they didn't dye it either. Like
It can happen.
young
Some people
get
do.
gray hair.
Get gray hair
Yeah.
prematurely. I knew a woman
Yeah.
who was in her early 30s and she had platinum gray hair. It was beautiful. It looked great on her because she
Yeah.
had wonderful skin tone. But yeah, it can
She was a
happen.
goddess.
Mhm. Well, Steve Martin was born with gray hair, white hair. It seems.
Bored with white hair all the way up till now. Just always
Yeah.
white hair. He's been an old man since he was a baby. It also says he also did a film with Elvis Presley when he was a kid, which is
He
funny because he played Elvis. Who's he talking about?
Really?
Kurt Russell.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh yeah, Kurt Russell. Yeah,
Weird.
yeah. He visited the set of SG-1 in his Elvis Presley costume.
Oh,
Wow.
so
He's
he
filming
was.
nearby.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that was the timeline.
Kurt Russell as Elvis. I never knew about that.
Never
Kurt
heard
Russell
of that.
was a handsome
Yeah.
young man.
Man.
I mean, he's still
Mhm.
handsome, but when he was younger, he was so cute.
I want to see more old man Kurt Russell. Be great. He was great in a Hateful Eight. That's
Yeah,
the
he
last thing I
was.
can remember seeing him
Especially when he broke that guitar accidentally, that
in. Yeah.
expensive guitar.
Irate Patty, what's up? That's a grim image. Soldier with Kurt Russell. There is
Yep.
a nod to Stargate when they display his service record. There is something saying he earned the Pliskin Medal.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you're talking about Soldier the movie.
Soldier came after Star. Okay, yeah, it came after Stargate. He kind of reminded me of the same character in here.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Irate says also a killer movie you should review. Good, noted.
Enjoyed that movie. I don't think the ending stuck the landing, but it's worth a watch.
Mm.
But
That's
I've only
good.
seen it once. I might change my mind if I rewatch it.
Oh, let's see. Park File says some scientists have claimed that teleportation has been pulled off, but the big issue is that the Earth is moving 1,000,000 miles per hour around the sun, so the objects wind up in space. Wow. Psh, I doubt it. I no way. I don't think we figured that out.
I
That's
don't. I
crazy.
don't think. I just don't think it can ever be figured out.
Then Park File also says nerds can get girls. They just got to figure out how to talk with them first. That's right, Park File. That's right. There's hope. There's always hope, Park File. Rebel Rose. Hey, Rebel. Good seeing you. My hair started growing white at 16. It happens, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Right. And she also says
think it's
Kurt
cool looking.
is. Yeah, no, it looks great. Yeah.
It's like
Rebel
Starlight.
Rose also says Kurt is and always will be gorgeous.
Agreed.
He's very gorgeous.
I really like his personality too. There's
Yeah,
this
he's cool.
adorable video that he has with his son Wyatt. I'll try to share it with you sometime. Just the way they laugh together. Oh my gosh, his laugh is so contagious.
I like seeing them together.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I guess they were in that
Like just like
that Godzilla
Monarch.
show. Yes.
Monarch.
Mm. I
Great
watched season
concept.
one.
Oh gosh.
It's bad, huh?
I enjoyed it up to a point, and then it got really dumb, and I was thinking I'm never going to watch the second season, and then I did start to watch the second season and couldn't make it more than like 10 minutes through. It was like,
No, I only watched the
Pass.
first season and I barely made it through.
yeah, it
But
was a
what-
slog.
Kurt and Wyatt Russell were the best parts.
They
of that.
agree. They absolutely
And-
were. And the intro music. Love the intro music. Really set the
I think they're doing a
set the
prequel
mood.
show with Wyatt, so hopefully, I don't know, hopefully that will be better.
I want to see more of the father son. Put them in things. People like Wyatt Russell and people like Kurt Russell. Why not?
I want to see Bill Pullman and his son.
His son, yes.
They are uncanny. Like
And Spaceballs too.
Day
Yeah, that's
3.
what I
Did you know that they're going to be in
That's cool.
Spaceballs 2 together?
Oh,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
that'll be good.
Interesting.
I wonder if he'll play Bob in that one.
Nice.
Yeah. The
Should.
Look
plot
at
line
this.
just got
First off,
revealed.
look at this. That's a dude. Are you sure?
I was looking
It's a
up.
dude.
I was looking up the filmography. He's only done like 3 movies. He's
I was
apparently a
wondering.
big fashion designer, and then he went back to that. So he's like
Oh.
really big in the fashion world, but he did like 3
Interesting.
big movies and then just left.
Oh, 3 big ones? What were
It was
his
The
others?
Crying Game. He won an award
Oh.
for that. Or got nominated for a bunch of awards.
Oh,
with it.
did he play the twisty character?
I didn't see. I just read about it.
Okay.
What's the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to look back up again. It was like only like 3 movies on his filmography. Let me give me a second.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought this was a girl the whole time until
Oh.
really until afterwards, and I looked it up. But the Adam's apple that can
Well,
be great.
here's the thing. Girls can get Adam's apple. Adam's apples when they do certain things, like what seems to be a fad right now. Yeah, they can develop that.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think that's part of it, though, that he wants to be what's the word?
Androgynous?
Yeah.
Metrosexual. I don't know if that's the word, but wants to be pretty and stately looking, and I think that just goes in keeping with the character of Ra, who has appointed himself like a god over people and thinks that
Okay.
he's I don't know, it works, I guess, in how he dresses and has all of the servants around him and these young children. Everything, all of his outfits are so gaudy, so detailed, and so like he just is so into himself.
Yeah.
It's like the Met Gala. I don't know.
I don't know. Like when I saw that, I really, it's so gaudy, and it's like a low rising or like a low chest. I'm like, this has got to be a girl, but no. And I just had a hard time being intimidated by this character.
It was kind
Yes,
of
I
underwhelming, his reveal, I thought.
I was hoping he'd be a lot bigger and
More
you know,
intimidating,
Oh,
but
well, Joe's an alien, or maybe that's me too. I don't know. He sounded like an alien for a second. Yeah. Were you guys obviously? So Elaine, you were a big fan of this villain. You thought he played off pretty well in this. He was, a captivating villain that offered some, high stakes and drama.
I mean, we don't really see him that often. Really, he doesn't have a lot of screen time. He's definitely not the strongest element of it. The concept of him, I think, is stronger more than anything, of his origin and what he is. He's an alien life form that has infested this person. This isn't what this alien looks like. He's taken
Right.
over this
Yeah.
person's body. He was just a young boy, curious, and got abducted, and now he's been kept alive this whole time, and this is what's been done to him. He's just this husk that this alien life form is using. Like he's using everything else. He's using the people on the planet Abydos and to use as workers for resources. They're slaves, and it's just the megalomania of it that's interesting. And yeah, I feel like it's the dynamic with Daniel is what makes him better. Like having that sounding board of him just lording over people, but it's not the strongest villain in that respect. It's very brief, but I feel like he has such aura about him, though, that kind of makes up for it.
This is
The
a very
throne
aura
room.
image.
I mean,
The
it's
throne
his
Yeah.
dead eyes, his impassive face. He doesn't show much emotion, and he's super short. I just found out. I think he's like 5'3". He's a tiny little
Wow.
thing. Yeah,
Really? Wow.
yeah.
Well, he's
I'm looking up
surrounded
his
by
IMDb.
children mostly.
Yeah,
so we
that's
don't-
true. That's true.
with his young attendants who guard him and protect him. Like
Yeah.
it's so interesting to see the just myriads of young children were around him protecting him, and again just using them as human shields. And I don't know, it's but they're worshiping him. That's
Yeah.
also like part of it. It's worship of this deity, and
And he
it's
did
this,
play.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm fascinated with his filmography. Yes, he did play the twisty character in The Crying Game. So it's interesting. Box office, you thought he was a girl?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
That involves the twist in The Crying Game.
Oh,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
twist.
Yeah,
Man.
the big twist.
Oh, that's the twist. Okay. I
Yes,
gotcha.
that's the twist. The reveal at the end about that character. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But we saw him. What did we see in the flashback of the Traveler when Daniel's saying that he found a
Mhm.
young boy?
Yep.
I mean, he looks so different. Obviously, he's just this young child
Poor
and
kid. Yeah.
And yeah, now seeing him as Ra, this alien entity inhabiting his body. Yeah, the difference in that.
Yeah, it's
He's just there to aura farm.
gosh,
And-
I don't know. I didn't think, maybe so, but it didn't work. I'm sorry, it didn't work. I just thought I just couldn't take it. It was cringe. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm a dude. Maybe dudes don't get it. That's probably, or maybe it's a young guy thing. I had a hard time looking at him, and I had a hard time just believing his character. But you made a good point that he's really not a major part of this. I was actually kind of weird enough. I was sort of a little disappointed when the villains even showed up in this movie. I kind of wanted this to just be like, maybe more so a natural disaster element of trying to get home and piecemealing their way to repairing the Stargate and learning about, maybe exploring the planet a little more without there being like a villainous foe overlording everyone. But that didn't turn out to be the case, which, doesn't matter. But I was kind of, that's just been the case. Like every time you get a story kind of similar to this, lost in space on an alien planet, there's always some evil force at work. And I thought maybe we would be somewhere a little different, but that wasn't the case. I thought, I was also thinking, something weird about this character was at first, because I was writing up questions for this and writing up these chapters. And when I was watching the movie, I thought maybe his character was a little bit, at first I thought maybe he was maybe not all of that evil. And my indication of that was that he didn't kill all the people he captured, because Kurt Russell and all those guys, he didn't kill them right away. And I thought they were dead meat. They were still alive. And I kind of wondered why you guys thought that was the case. Why did he keep them alive? Why not just kill them?
I thought he was saving them for a purpose, a specific purpose later.
I think you wanted to know how they came there, like where they come from. So to interrogate them. Yes.
Yeah, they weren't going anywhere. As soon as he got them, it's like, well, what are you guys going to possibly do? You're stuck.
And they found their technology. They knew they were advanced humans on this planet where they're not supposed to be. I mean, this is a civilization that has been kept oppressed and kept at this level of, well, they can't advance as a civilization. They've kept them in this state, this primitive state. So seeing their weapons and seeing, their technology, he surely wanted to see where'd they come from and who they are, because they're not from around here. So they just wanted to find out what's up with them for questioning. That's how I did it.
Okay, that's fair. I thought that was a strange choice. I'm like, is there are we supposed to find the these aliens to actually not be that bad? At first, when I saw that they didn't kill the Kurt Russell and those guys, that they were just prisoner, for whatever reason, my mind constructed that they actually never killed any of the soldiers from the beginning. I don't know why. I thought maybe those blasters didn't actually kill people. They more so stunned, but I guess that's not the case. And they were killing people the whole time. And, this whole movie, they're oppressing all of these poor Egyptian people, and they've been oppressing them for thousands of years. So I don't think there should be any, remnant of compassion in this race of aliens.
Surprising lack of blood for all the death that was going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And that part of it too, I felt like this was a movie definitely made for kids. And it could have, I would have loved it if they would have kicked it up a little bit, kicked it up a notch, be a little bit more violent like that. But I don't want it to be gross, but I think it could definitely be assisted by, a little bit more graphic imagery. Something like with this chapter, this is sort of like the semi-finale where we are. The tensions have been rising as the Ra he captured our heroes, and Ra and his henchmen they punished the locals for helping the visitors. It was really weird what they did. They sort of did like a drive-by and they just started shooting down on them. I was wondering why they did that at first, but then we learned that the Ra was pretty pissed that they were helping out these newcomers. Yep. And obviously they didn't want that to happen, so they were punishing him for that. Made sense. And it's pretty bad news right now because Ra learned and apprehended that powerful bomb that O'Neill had brought there, and now Ra wants to use that against Earth, and he's going to jack it up. He's going to make it way more powerful with the material they've been mining there and beef it up, and they're going to send it back to Earth. So that's like the new major conflict is crap. First off, we got to get back home, which is already nearly impossible. And second, Ra is going to blow up or, cause a massive disaster on Earth. And we don't know how cataclysmic that explosion is going to be, but it's going to be really bad. So they're dealing with both of those things here, which create a pretty, exciting, final act that we're about to get into. Before we do, though, it's revealed that O'Neill, he had another mission in mind while he was out here, under the table. He was sent to assess the situation and possibly blow up the planet, depending on if it showed any, if it deemed to be a threat of any sorts. Mm-hmm. How did you guys find this scheme or this under wraps plan? Did you think that was sort of an evil thing for him to pick up and take charge of? Do you think that was a bad thing he was doing, or was he just following orders, or was any of this entire situation with him and this, kind of messed up scheme, was it any of it reasonable at all?
I mean, we got to protect our planet first.
Yes.
These guys are kind of jerks over there. So, if they're bad, sorry.
Take it out. Yeah. And it wasn't like just go there and bomb whatever. It was if you determine that it's a threat. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Ra was kind of a big threat if he would have succeeded with his plan.
It was a military operation too. So that is believable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really considering the other side of it. It's like just protect Earth at all costs. I thought the reason why I even asked this question is, when that was revealed, everybody kind of reacted like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" a little bit. And I was thinking, I thought it was reasonable because, it didn't really seem like Kurt Russell was interested in destroying the planet. And I think even if his orders were to destroy the planet with all these innocent people, I don't think he would have done it.
No, if it was an entire home world of Ra and the forces, and we got to see a big military installation, then it would make more sense. But I don't think he was just going to bomb just the regular villagers.
No.
Also, how big was that bomb that it was going to do all that damage? Like the world, we didn't see the whole world. We saw a couple miles, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they didn't even indicate that it was like a nuke or anything, which I thought it might be, but.
Yeah,
doesn't seem like it.
It was too small to be a nuke.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say it did not look
enormous.
that big.
Yeah,
it was maybe
Was
Or
it just
maybe,
meant
like,
to
this all-
destroy the Stargate?
That's what I was gonna say. I think maybe it was
Yeah.
just okay. Blow the
Blow up the
Stargate up, blow
Stargate
the
so they
building
can't
that's
come through.
involved. Yeah,
Yeah.
blow the building
Yeah.
up, and then you're good.
That's it.
Just
Okay.
to be sure. Yeah, I
Problem
mean,
solved.
yeah, because they weren't sure. I don't know. Like, yeah, from that point of view, you don't really know. You had a few images. You knew that there was something on the other side, and you knew that it was across the other side of the universe, the known universe. But yeah, to just all of the unknowns, they're probably just going through their head. I mean, they know that this is alien technology. They know that there's life that built this that's out there. So yeah, just it's reasonable from that point of view that they would want to prepare for that sort of scenario, not knowing if they could come back or what could come back with them or something like that. So yeah, if they want to destroy it from that side, yeah, I don't know how the destructive power, but yeah, at least enough to destroy that.
Did only Kurt
It
Russell know, or
says-
the other boys did either? Did
Only
everyone else?
Kurt.
That's the problem.
Seemed
Because if
pretty
he
clear.
if he would have got killed, then Kowalski wouldn't have done anything with it.
Yeah.
I was like how these movies they always have one soldier have a name and that's it. Like that was the only
them,
soldier's
just them.
name that we knew was Kowalski, and he had so much screen time, and everyone else was just a no-name dude.
Yeah, they didn't matter.
Yeah,
Expendable.
I don't know
And
which
they-
one Kowalski was.
he was the one as it's kind of
That
hard.
went
to
with
explain.
them, right?
They look
Yeah.
kind of the same, those two dudes.
Yeah,
He was trying to
they're-
sacrifice himself when they were coming down at the end of the movie and bomb the whole thing. They're like, Kowalski, get back! And he was like overturning things to save people and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah.
says
Nice
that
to
I
know
thought
the
those dudes were
French
forgettable.
Stewart,
bomb in the
the
movie.
guy from. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Elaine?
Oh, I just know the only other soldier that I knew was the guy from Third Rock from the Sun. It's
Mm.
French Stewart. I don't
Yeah.
know if y'all know. Is that too old for y'all?
Did he die? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
No, I don't think he died.
Oh, okay.
One of them died, right? How many died?
Well, the beginning, what? Like 4 of them died? The first 4 guys?
I thought some of them died in the
Kind
beginning.
of hard because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were shot with the lasers. We don't know if they
But
were
I
phasers or
honestly,
not.
yeah, their faces blended together, like you said. So I don't know.
Oh gosh. All right. Before we get to the concluding chapter, let's get to a few more of these chats. Again, thank you all for participating as always. Let's see. Ian Morrison says Kurt Russell is also now my favorite Santa Claus. Wow, that movie's that good.
He was really good in that one. He had a great musical number too.
Wow. Okay, I didn't see that coming. It looked like a hard pass for me. It's
It
good.
had some, It has some charm to it. Yeah, the Netflix
What's it
one we're
called?
talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but
It's called
it was a Netflix one.
Claus. I think it's called
No, I
Claus.
There's an animated movie called Claus.
Klaus.
Klaus, but I don't think that's not the one. I don't remember. I thought, how old is that movie? I thought it was old.
Like
When y'all were
2018,
talking-
2019, maybe, or
Really? Is it
maybe
that recent?
2020s.
They made a sequel too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Weird. All right. Talking about Santa. It's July. Oh gosh. Oh, Rebel Rose. Wyatt definitely got a lot from his dad. Yeah, he's very handsome. Very handsome guy. Rebel Rose. Yes, he was killing the Madison, but the whole show has flashbacks and revolves around him. Okay. I don't know what the Madison is. Is that oh wait, that's a
The
Taylor
show by
Sheridan.
Taylor. Yeah.
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 Spoilers.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, it's
people.
shown in like the first episode. So
Spoiler alert, people.
maybe the trailer.
Watch
reveals it,
out.
I don't know.
Well, I knew it was Michelle Pfeiffer's show, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's great. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I gave up on Taylor Sheridan after the end of Yellowstone. I will not touch another piece of media he does. He betrayed us.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
I don't know. I like some of his stuff and some of the writing. I go back and forth.
He's great. I mean, you got to respect him, but he's also wild. He's too wild for me. Like, nah. Ian, the other film that Sam Neill did that's coming out next year is The Last Resort with Daisy Ridley and Alden Ehrenreich. That's not a good sign either. If Daisy Ridley's a part of it, it's probably not very good.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be a box office sensation because it was the last thing he was in.
Oh,
That's what, it's going to do very well in the box office. I'm guessing.
that's probably true. Huh. Oh, and Rockturnal says #future bomb. What are you talking about? Oh, maybe he's talking about the bomb we were talking about. A compact a
It's
compact
200
nuke.
kilotons.
What are you talking about?
Bomb.
A nuke?
No, the bomb in the film.
Oh, okay. I
What's
like how
that
we
like-
hear that number and we don't really know
I
what
was
that
gonna say,
even
what's
is.
that
Yeah,
like
it's
normal
exactly.
American
You have to
numbers?
tell
like
me.
100,
It's
like
basically
20,
13
30
times
pounds.
the size of the Hiroshima bomb.
What?
Pretty big.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's okay. I got you.
I don't know. I just looked it
Dang.
up, man.
That's
Yeah.
weird because this is the 90s. It doesn't really seem that advanced in the 90s here, except for the Stargate.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
know.
it's a secret CIA black site where they're doing this stuff. Who knows what they have down there?
True. It's called the Christmas Chronicle. Okay, that's what it was.
okay.
Yeah, the sequel wasn't as good. Klaus was also great. All right.
Yeah,
Oh
Klaus was
gosh.
good.
All right. All right. And then Rock Turnal says Landman is decent. All right. It's decent.
Yeah,
It's good
I like
enough,
some of
guess.
that.
Yeah. That's all right. Let's see. Let's get to the final conflict here, everybody. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this up because you're a big fan of the guards. Yes. So,
Beautiful.
with Ra planning to destroy Earth, the team joins forces with the villagers. Half the team remain outside to defend the pyramid as Colonel O'Neill and Daniel Jackson try to thwart Ra's plans. With the bomb activated and the timer ticking, the tension grows thicker. Daniel's girl gets shot, but he revives her, and Ra's ship flies off into space. With seconds left to spare, O'Neill teleports the bomb into the ship, destroying it. And Daniel Jackson chooses to stay in the planet with his girl as the rest of the boys return home. Happy ever after. And we get a nice parting moment between Daniel and O'Neill. And O'Neill, he feels like a much better guy here in the end. And, you know, the trip was worth all the trouble because he's become who he was from the beginning. I felt like, for me, this is where the movie lost me, was this ending here. It felt a little cheese ball. My dad,
Yep.
he calls it cheese ball.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
clunky. It was
It-
clunky too, I thought. Not very well executed.
How do you guys feel this final conflict played out? Because there was a lot going on. You had what was going on in the pyramid with O'Neill. He's battling some of those guards. You have the outdoor conflict with the villagers who have guns and they're just acting silly the whole time. And even worse yet, you get 1,000 more of the villagers, you know, coming in to fight two of the alien dudes. And that's, you know, not really too much going on there. And then you have a conflict with Daniel, what's going on with him and his girl, and then you have Roz trying to escape. So there's a lot happening here. How did you guys feel this final conflict played out?
Clunky. I this was probably my least favorite part of the film.
I thought it was okay. It could have been a lot better. I think I could definitely understand that, but they had a lot of loose ends to tie up with it.
Anticlimactic.
I thought they tried. You know what? I appreciate that. You know, they had a lot going on. I think it was I hate to say it, those villagers. It's the stinking villagers. It was so
You just hate those
ridiculous.
villagers, man.
They were so bad here. This was the worst we've seen them. And
Well, they'd
like
never done this before. I mean, come on, they were total
Oh.
novices, so I can
Oh
forgive
my
that.
gosh.
You know, I have always hated that stupid ass sound when people punch, and it sounds like this, not a punch at all. Can't stand it. Yeah, it's so distracting. It's like,
No, you're talking about Kurt Russell's battle with
no, just whenever fighting happens in a movie, punching or whatever, and they put that sound in, that was a big thing. Yeah, didn't
Yeah.
I
like
thought
it.
it was funny how, you know, you had the sequence where,
up here.
you know, it was a pretty rough situation outdoors for, you know, there was two of the military dudes and then there was all the villager people that don't know what they're doing. And they're just being silly,
Somehow
shooting
can
their
magically
guns in
do the
air.
guns. Yeah.
Oh yeah, first off, those guns aren't going to do anything to the ship, so I don't even know why they're trying. I doubt those bullets can do anything to them. And second off, it just didn't seem like they were doing anything that whole time. They were so lucky that the two elite guards came down and they were in their vulnerable positions to walk towards them. on foot, then they could finally shoot them. But for whatever reason, they didn't shoot them. I know that the guards, they had their staffs and they were pointing it at them. But I mean, there was a lot of guys there. They could have shot at them. And you have the Legion of Villagers, they're rushing in and they help out. But geez, I mean, those poor guys, they get all cut up by the Sentinel guards. It would have been nice if, while they're busy, the military guys could have shot them there. I mean, I bet a dozen of them died in that little scuttle there. It could have been fixed.
Well, see,
you're
missing something though. We had this exact conversation a week ago. Remember, we were talking about the air of disbelief. How I mentioned I was again watching Superman Legacy and how he could pick up a building but not take a punch.
Yeah,
it was as the comment says here. It was definitely just a '90s sci-fi ending, and we have to have just that air of disbelief with it a little bit.
Yeah, it did seem a bit rushed. Yeah. But again, I find that refreshing. Just wrap things up. Keep it within 2 hours. It's not perfect by any means, but I think what really is the downfall of Ra is just the need to reinforce his godhood to these people. Everything, all these, look at these guards here. This isn't practical. This isn't compare these soldiers with the military. Everything is practical. Everything is designed for a purpose and a practical reason and to accomplish a military and strategic role. This is to intimidate. And all of what they do is to intimidate and nothing it's all style.
They thought they were gods. I mean, they thought they were gods too. They didn't know they were human for the longest time.
Yeah. And they are all the whole thing that Ra, his plan, he's so obsessed with just trying to reinforce his godhood to these people that's what his entire plan revolves around. He has to have Daniel kill his companions in front of them, in front of everyone there, for the express purpose to just, again, lord over these people and oppress them further. That's really his only goal, and it clouds his judgment so much that I think he really is responsible for his downfall, not so much the uprising from these people. They're just have a little bit of assistance basically, but that was all that was needed, that little bit of spark of rebellion to take down this entity he's not acting on logic or reason or military strategy. It's all power, it's all technology, using that to be a god to these people. And it's that I think is the hubris of it, is really his ultimate downfall. And the show really continues on that. Again, it's simple concepts here. It's a simple cheeseball ending for sure. And it's all wrapped up in a tight little bow at the end, and everything's happy, and it's a nice happy ending. But it's such a simple foundation from which other creatives can come in and really expound upon these concepts and dive into the world of these alien entities that have enslaved other civilizations as well. We just have this tiny little speck of this grander universe here. And I love that. I love that this is one piece in a grand tale, a grand scale universe. And I don't know. So I love the simplicity of it. And it is cheesy, but I like cheesy.
Yeah, cheesy's not bad. It's not bad. I think it was just, I don't know. I felt like it was like too much cheesy. It was like a big dose of cheese ball.
Yeah.
It was like eating a whole cheese ball and you were just eating a little bit of cheese like the whole movie. So, oh gosh. Yeah. You made a good point there. Yeah. This was almost like, their whole like design here is all intimidation. It's not practicality. That's so interesting. Because, you saw, through, I don't remember if it's this scene. I think it is this scene where Kurt Russell shoots one of these dudes with like one of those normal, American weapons, and it kills him, right? The bullets do something to him. And, you see just how vulnerable these guys are. I mean, this stuff's really not that protective. And,
I mean, they're not protected at all.
No.
The stomach is wide open.
Yeah.
And it's probably been since the very beginning, thousands of years ago, since there's been any bit of rebellion from the Egyptians, right? I mean, I don't think there's anything to suggest that
it only
they
happened
tried to do something
on Earth. Doesn't seem to have happened here.
Not even a thought. Yeah, so there's like
Once-
such an ego there.
Yeah, how could you rebel? I mean, look what you're up against.
Yeah.
Imagine just being there, the regular villager, and then these guys just jump down. Like I said, like it's all about intimidation, and these guys are pretty intimidating.
Yeah. But
You know,
cool.
Elaine, I liked what you said, you know, talking about how this is a contained conflict, even though this is such a giant universe. That's definitely true. Even though it's like, you know, it's very fantastical and sci-fi and crazy. It's like, you know, bigger than this world. It is contained. It's like everything's happening right here. And you've learned about, you know, the race of the alien, and you've learned about the Egyptians here. And you really understand what's going on, but it's not over-explained, and that's respectable. But yeah, I think that I think it just would have been nice if maybe we just took a more serious approach here, left a little bit of the cheese ball. I don't know.
They could remake
Word
it.
of the
you
day
never
is
know.
cheese
No,
ball.
no
y'all.
remake, no
No, I mean,
remake.
I'd like to see a little bit updated version of it.
Uh,
Whoa. When I say that, I mean like when I say updated version, like, you know, give Raw some, you know, giant, you know, 7-foot bodyguards or something like that to like really make these guys intimidating.
Yeah. I like that they took just a piece of our history and just ran with it, and that it fits so well. And again, it's very simple and cheese to the point of cheesiness at the end. But that just allowed for such rich storytelling later. And this is just the beginning, and how they take this story and run with it and adapt it into a television form, these serialized adventures, exploring the universe, but also trying to advance ourselves, prepare ourselves, because now powerful alien entities now know that Earth is out there and has a Stargate, and there are people that are advanced. They have been long cut off from their reach, the powerful reach of alien gods like Ra, and because they buried their Stargate for so long, they've been detached from this for such a long time. So it's just a great fertile universe for more stories. And sometimes I wish we just had simple things, a simple concept, one man and his buddy making their way in the universe, and the chemistry. And that's really what stands out to me about this. It's not so much the bad guy and the conflict. It is the concepts and the heart of it, the characters that I think shine the most for me. That's what really that I connected with ultimately, was just the concept of it that was fascinating, and the characters that were just so likable, and I love their chemistry together. And that's really, I think, the heart of this universe, and one that people have latched on to over the years in the subsequent successful shows.
I wonder why we
So
haven't
the
seen
journey
more
just begins
James
here.
Spader. You know, like I'd like to see him in more things. I don't know of any big movies he was in as a young man or an older guy. I mean, are
Blacklist.
there any?
The
Blacklist was a show. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know that. I watched that.
Did you ever
There's
see him
Age
in
of
Wolf
Ultron.
with Jack Nicholson
Pretty in Pink.
and Michelle Pfeiffer?
He was in a. It's funny. It's weird how like social media has.
Oh, he was in Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
voice.
Yeah.
I
he's
loved
a
his
great
voice
voice.
acting in
Yeah,
there.
that
He was so
awesome.
funny.
It's weird how
He'll be
social
back.
media it's sort of resurrected a lot of like obscure movies and shows. And one of them, I don't know what it's called, but it's a series with James Spader and William Shatner and their lawyers.
Oh,
Does that sound
Boston
familiar?
Legal.
Oh, Boston Legal.
Yeah.
Yes, there's clips and they're like get tons of views and likes. And it's like, you know, I've never heard of that. I don't think I don't know how it's completely irrelevant now. I don't know anybody my age that's seen it, but you know, the clips do well, and maybe that'll steer traffic back to that original title. That's one good thing about social media with older movies and older shows. That's sometimes the way I even find some of these old movies to talk about is a clip I see online, or not TikTok. I don't watch TikTok. No way,
yeah.
no thanks, not TikTok, but Instagram. You know, if I scroll through Instagram. You know, since we're talking about Kurt Russell and James Spader, their characters, they didn't change like there wasn't like a lot of different examples of change, but I think they're very different people by the end of the movie compared to where they were in the beginning. What do you think were the major changes that these characters went through?
I feel like Kurt had the biggest change. I honestly felt that James Spader's character was pretty much the same. I don't feel he had a huge character arc.
I don't think he needed a huge character arc with
Yeah.
it. He came in there, excited about this world, then got to see it, and got to live in it afterwards.
Yep.
Who would want to live there, first off? I don't want to live there.
Well, I mean,
A
you had a
nerd.
reason.
What kind of
Take her
cheese
with
ball
you.
would want to live there?
Plus, he was he
had to
was
throw
so
that out there.
into the whole Egyptian culture and history and everything. So I mean, it would have been like a dream for
Christmas.
him anyway.
But also too, like you just destroyed the ruler. You're gonna have to institute some new leadership there.
He
and
can be the ruler.
Exactly.
Yeah, he could teach them stuff.
And you have to
And
do
he knew about
exactly
the
what he
advanced-
tells you to do.
I don't think he would ever resort to something like that. He's not that type of character.
He keeps the nuke just in case.
Yeah, what way did his character change? I felt like, maybe he found like meaning. He found like he made a personal connection.
Yes.
He didn't have that at first. He was able to make that through this experience.
He didn't have any family or anything, so now it's
No.
like, hey.
Yeah,
He had a place to belong
Mhm.
and a reason to belong there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
and then what's his face? Kurt Russell, obviously, he had the biggest change.
I
Yeah,
love
he
the
was such a
smile at
sad
the
guy.
end.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. That's what I was really happy about. I mean, he was such a sad guy with such a sad story, and he would, like you said, he was there, specifically to take his life, for others, just because, what he's.
Yeah, he was
going
gonna
through.
I
die.
thought he was.
He didn't want to live, and
Thought he
might
was
as well
gonna die.
be
So
sacrificial
his smile
play.
was great to see. That was
Mhm.
great, heartwarming.
So I'll see you around, Dr. Jackson.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Like in closing, what would you add to this movie or take away to make it better?
I would change the ending battle. Just smooth it out a little bit more. Make it. It was very. That really was. I was kind of rolling my eyes at some.
I would
Uh,
add more villagers.
add more screen
Just to
time,
aggravate
another
Jackson.
hour.
Yeah.
I
That's a
would
great
give
idea.
more I would have them just like a little bit bigger, the guards. I'd give, one of the big dumb brute ones maybe has a one-on-one fight with Kurt Russell. So just like
That'd be
little
sweet.
things like that, I think.
I'd make them aliens too.
Yeah, just maybe because of technology. Who knows what the budget was probably like back then, where you couldn't have everyone as aliens.
It's got to be a budget thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And I would make it way more cheese ball. Just go all cheese ball. the whole
More cheese
thing.
balls.
Oh no, no.
I'd like to
Just
see a
total
sadder,
cheese ball,
sadder.
start to finish.
I'd
No
like to see-
sincere moments, just laughs all the time. Can't take anybody seriously.
Maybe a sadder Kurt Russell. Like I said, with the emotional moments of him wanting to die, telling Jackson, like it just seemed like that's a pretty bad tragedy. It almost felt like Hollywood doing an anti-gun rant or something like that. Like it wasn't like, oh, your son was sick. Oh, he shot himself with your gun. Like there was no other anything with that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's gonna be leading
Well,
any
I
group
mean,
I mean,
afterwards.
it's certainly a thing that happens, and I guess because it was his gun, and he carries a lot of guilt probably because of that. And also in the beginning, when we're introduced to him, and he looks like he's wanting to off himself because he's sitting there with the gun. We really don't know how much time has passed since this
Yeah.
death. So it may have been a bit of time, enough for his character, or for them to determine that his character was suitable for this mission. And maybe that's part of why they brought him in too, because it was a suicide mission, and maybe they knew where his mind was at. So maybe he was stable enough for the mission, but he still had this immense grief he was dealing with.
Yeah, Yeah, I could
That's
see that.
awful. That's like, hey, how's your family? Oh, you're still miserable? Do I have a mission for you? So
That's the
one-way
Well, they
system.
probably felt like that. I mean, they don't really delve much into his relationship with his wife at all.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
was,
there's no,
yeah.
Did we
there's no
even see
relationship
her?
after that.
I thought you saw her a little bit
She
at the
was- she was-
beginning.
Oh yeah, towards the
Sorry.
beginning, yeah.
But you know, a lot of times when there is a terrible tragedy like that, the marriage does not survive.
There's no
So-
way that survives that
That's
marriage.
sad.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like that's a big thing to throw on an audience, and afterwards, I don't know. I felt like it could have been done a little bit more.
But then that would be a heavy weight, and that would really bring down the more positive energy of the moon.
The
It would
cheese
melt-
ballness.
It would
was
melt the
relentless.
cheese.
Yeah.
Man, we have said cheese so many times. It's like, the word of the day is cheese or cheese ball.
Yeah, that's good. What about you, Elaine? What would you change if you could change anything?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that ending could have been. It did seem very rushed, and it could have. Yeah, some more time, and I've been saying that I like the 2-hour time run, but I think they could have done more with just a little bit more time and made it more grand in scale, and have more of a complex battle at the end. It was very, very quick and wrapped up pretty tidy, and allowed for some cheesy moments, some suspension of disbelief there. I don't know, what I would change specifically,
Hey,
but
that's fair. Yeah.
I think they did great with what they had at the time, and I don't know what the budget was. I think it was around 50 million.
Were there any
And
cuts? Do you know what that you know of?
Ooh, deleted scenes.
I just wonder. You know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Huh. I like what Rock
maybe.
Eternal says here. It was definitely a B tier 90s sci-fi ending. Not great, not terrible. That's fair, Rock Eternal. Very good. Sin says, by the way, the name Jackson was pretty prominent in the movie Michael.
I mean,
oh,
you
there you
forgot
go.
about
There's
that?
the connection. Finally. Oh gosh. Noah Rockturnal says, knowing what it led to with the series, I
Okay.
probably wouldn't change the end.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
anything about the series. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know what's to come, and it just expounds upon all those things and all those little tidbits that I, again, rushed ending, and just they broadened the universe. They introduced some other far more fearsome enemies in the same vein as what Raw is, and some varied enemies, different ones as they go out into the galaxy. And I think a lot of my nitpicks are dealt with because of that, because they do expound upon it, they do enrich the world, and we learn more about the characters through this hundreds and hundreds of hours of storytelling and just that deepening of their relationship. So it's hard for me to say what I change, but I don't know, because of what I know comes later.
Bud.
Yeah.
But was the series solid pretty much? Did it hold up? Because sometimes they can dip in quality.
I think it gets, so it starts off strong, I think, but in the first 2 seasons, there's some cheesy episodes that don't really. And every new show kind of struggles to find its footing in what they're doing. Star Trek, TNG took a while for that to get really good, and I'd say it really starts to find its footing around 3 and 4, where it just gets super good.
Man.
Yeah,
How
but
many
there's some fun
seasons are
times to
there?
be had.
It's a lot.
10.
Okay, I was
Wow.
gonna say I
So-
thought
I
11.
just can't do that.
And
then
then
they
you
have
said
all
there's like
those
20
spin-offs.
episodes a season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was back in the day when they did that.
Yeah, as opposed to 8 episodes, and that's it.
yeah.
I
So-
kind of
still
prefer
not.
the shorter episode length personally, especially if it's if the story arc is
Yeah.
throughout all of that.
Yeah, I just miss the days of this kinds of storytelling. It's an investment for sure,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'd say it's worth it. There's great stories in there to be had, and a structure like this allows for you to really care about the characters. There's definitely a through line story that continues throughout the season. So you have the main storyline that carries through, but then there's I guess filler episodes or bottle episodes that just that can stand on their own. But in those episodes, which there's some great ones in the show, you still know you get to know the characters more that way, and their relationships between each other grow as they face different challenges, and you just start to form a deeper connection to the characters themselves over time, and seeing these myriads of adventures. So I can see the argument from both sides of it, to have a more contained story of a season. But I don't know. I think it was a special time when you care. This is how you really got to care about this world and its character. And again, what really stands out to me as Stargate is the concepts of it in our modern times, traveling through the galaxy, and the heart and humor of the characters themselves that really care, or that really carry it. So, and the characters are just amazing as they continue in this journey. So the journey just begins here, and if you want to continue, it only gets better.
It's a big adventure.
It's a fun journey.
Right? Yeah, that's cool. Well, I think there's definitely a great beginning here to get started on that next step. So that's good, and that's admirable if it's able to do that. I think it's worth checking out the show because of this.
What about the spin-offs? Are they worth the time and energy?
Oh yeah, Atlantis is great. Right. You might like Stargate Universe more, actually. That's the next one. Some people like that more because it is a more serialized form of storytelling, not so much episodic. There's some of that in there that carries over, but it is more of a through line story that continues.
Are there 3 total? So it's like there's SG-1, Universe, and Atlantis, and that's it? Or are there more that we don't know about, that I don't know about?
I think there was a web series, Stargate Origins.
Series?
Yeah, I never watched. It's not good.
Yeah.
No one was never experiment. It was like a prequel with Catherine, which was the old woman that it was about her, and it wasn't good. I don't know. I don't think anyone considers that canon. It was kind of a experiment. But
Catherine's the old lady in this movie.
Yeah, the one that gave Daniel the
little girl
recruited
She was
Daniel.
really old.
Yeah,
she was the little girl in the 1920s that it showed.
So age works, Jackson.
That's how it works. I feel like with old people, you see old people in movies and shows, but you don't really see old people though. And she looked like she was in the old people category. No,
she was pretty old.
Okay.
No, she was old.
I mean, this came out in the 90s, and when she was a kid, like
so
in the
just
20s.
70. Oh, wait, yeah.
In the 20s.
So 80s.
I forgot what year. Was it 28, 27 or something?
28.
And this was close to mid 90s.
Yeah.
I thought she looked good for her age.
Yeah, she did for the age she was, and she wasn't a tiny child.
I'm mostly kidding. Yeah. All right, so Bark File, we'll end on this note, a happy note. Everyone, what's your favorite cheese?
Blue cheese.
Oh my gosh,
that's a weird choice.
I could eat blue cheese plain. I
used to like
freak.
Used to like port wine. I don't like the tangy cheeses anymore. I don't know what mine. I love mozzarella, cheddar, and Colby Jack, pepper jack.
If it's on a sandwich, it has to be sharp cheddar.
I like those Baby Bell cheeses.
I know those are good.
Ooh,
those are good.
Is that provolone? Or...
That's mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Some very soft.
That's a good one. Yeah, those Baby Bells.
Oh no,
are great.
there's the Baby Bells are the round ones. I'm thinking about the wedges, the ones that are like in a wedge shape.
Yeah,
I'm
getting hungry. Why are we doing this? Stop.
I gotta be careful with my cheeses, my crime problems.
Where Joe doesn't get to choose his favorite cheese.
No, man.
He likes dairy-free cheese.
Pretty much. I'm lactose. Like I said, I'm lactose intolerant, so I have to be very careful with that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
Too bad.
My favorite is pepper jack, and I also like Colby cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also mine. All right, we
man,
end on
sorry
that
about
note.
that.
And I think everybody, what's the consensus? Is it a recommend for Stargate 1994?
Oh yeah,
All
absolutely.
right.
I don't
For
see
sure.
why not.
Especially if you want to start the series afterwards. Yeah.
All right. That's a
Do it.
unanimous decision, everybody. Go back to the past, 1994, watch Stargate and get started. And if you love the movie enough, you could get right into all 10 seasons of the show with 20 episodes a season.
Oof.
And wow, you got a lot of
It's a
good
lot
content
of
there to
episodes.
enjoy. Hey, that's great though, because
Yeah.
it's a little dry right now. You got some time. So maybe invest and then get into the spinoffs. But I appreciate all you guys for joining me again. Always a pleasure having you on, Sin, Luke, World War Joe. And it was great having you on, Elaine. Thanks so much for
Yeah.
giving us
great
your
meeting you.
Tuesday night. It was a real pleasure.
Yeah. Stargate
hearing
expert.
your insight.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you so much. It was great chatting with you all. Thanks for having me.
Same.
Yeah,
Thanks,
of course.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
please be sure, everybody, if you haven't yet already subscribed to these lovely channels, these great voices, great creative minds, go into my description below. All of their links are there, and give them a sub. It doesn't hurt to just subscribe, and I think you'll enjoy the content you see. And next week, live Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, as always, we are talking about Back to the Future 2. It's sequel season, everybody. And then after
All
that,
right.
I think we're talking about another sequel. So stay tuned for that. But we're looking forward to that. We appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoy Gen
Thank
Z
you.
reviews, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe to this channel so you can watch us every week, live Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And never forget, as we always say before we leave, give them the Duke and give them the dog. We'll see you later.
What kind of person are you? Are you the kind that sees signs, sees miracles? Or do you believe that